The sculpture of the eagle, which was crafted by a local artist, stands proudly in the town square. Well, the sculpture is our subject, which was crafted by a local artist. Starts with a comma, which phrases almost all should. So which was crafted by a local artist, a comma there to end it, right? Because it starts with a comma, it needs to end with a comma. So this guy. Now, which phrases do always need commas, but occasionally it's not going to have two. Because what if we had something like this? I really like the uh the painting, I don't know, or this painting, comma, which is colorful. In this case, we're not going to have two commas around which is colorful because we're not going to like end a sentence with a comma and then a period right next to each other. Right? That wouldn't make sense. So in this case, we have a which phrase and it doesn't have two commas. And we will see that sometimes, right? Sometimes a non-essential comma phrase actually only has one comma, just like in these introductory phrases. Something like in the morning, comma, I drink coffee. Well, in the morning is not essential, right? That's just a little detail. I drink coffee. That's our subject and verb. I drink. In the morning is just an extra detail. But we're not going to have two commas around it because then we'd be starting a sentence with a comma before we even said any words. And that would be weird. So all that is to say, in this instance and in most instances, we have a comma before which, and then we need a comma to end the which phrase. But sometimes you will not have a comma here if it is like actually just the end of the sentence. And sometimes we'll have a really long one. Like we could have something like, I like this painting, comma, which is colorful and reminds me of home. Right? And this is quite long, um, but it's all together, right? Which is colorful and reminds me of home. It's just a detail telling us about the painting. But we could finish the sentence, right? We could also say, I like this painting, which is colorful and reminds me of home, comma, and I hope to see it again soon. Um, right, and then we have a comma phrase with two commas. So it's all about the context, basically. We just have to be careful.